From the 1611 KJV Holy Bible, the Sefer Susanna, also known as Susanna. There dwelt a man in Babel called Jehoiakim, and he took a woman whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Eliyahu, a very fair woman, one that feared Yahweh. Her parents also were righteous and taught their daughter according to the Torah. Now Jehoiakim was a great rich man, and had a fair garden joining unto his house, and to him resorted the Yahudim, because he was more honorable than all the others. The same year were appointed two of the ancients of the people to be judges, such as Yahweh spoke of, that wickedness came from Babel, from ancient judges, who seemed to govern the people. These kept much at Jehoiakim's house, and all that had any suits in law came unto these two judges. Now when the people departed away at noon, Susanna went into her man's garden to walk, and the two elders saw her going in every day and walking, so that their lust was inflamed toward her. They perverted their own mind and turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven, nor remember just judgments. And howbeit they were wounded with her love, yet dared not one show another his grief, for they were ashamed to declare their lust, and they desired to have her to do what they will with her. Yet they watched diligently from day to day to see her. And the one said to the other, Let us now go home, for it is dinner time. And when they were gone out, they parted one from the other, and turning back, again they came to the same place. And after they had asked one another the cause, they acknowledged their lust. Then appointed they a time together, when they might find her alone. And it fell out, as they watched a fit time, she went in before with two maids only, and she was desirous to wash herself in the garden, for it was hot. And there was nobody there, save the two elders, for they hid themselves and watched her. Then she said to her maids, Bring me oil and washing balls. And they did as she bade them, and shut the garden doors, and went out themselves at privy doors to fetch the things that she had commanded them. But they saw not the elders, because they were hid. Now when the maids were gone forth, the two elders rose up and ran unto her, saying, Behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us, and we are in love with thee. Therefore consent unto us, and lie with us. If you will not, we will hear witness against you, that a young man was with you, and therefore you did send away your maids from you. Then Susanna sighed and said, Oh, I am straitened on every side. For if I do this thing, it is death unto me, and if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands. It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it, than to sin in the sight of the Lord Yahweh. With that, Susanna cried with a loud voice, and the two elders cried out against her. Then ran the one and opened the garden door. So when the servants of the house heard the cry in the garden, they rushed in at the privy door to see what was done unto her. But when the elders had declared the matter, the servants were greatly ashamed, for there was never such report made of Susanna. And it came to pass the day when the people were assembled to her man Jehoiakim, the two elders came also of a mischievous imagination against Susanna, to put her to death, and said before the people, Send for Susanna, the daughter of Eliyahu, Jehoiakim's woman. And so they sent. So she came with her father and mother, her children, and all her kindred. Now Susanna was a very delicate woman, and and beauteous to behold. And these wicked men commanded to uncover her face, for she did wear the veil, that they might be filled with her beauty. Therefore her friends and all that saw her wept. Then the two elders stood up in the midst of the people and laid their hands upon their head. And she, weeping, looked up toward heaven, for her heart trusted in Yahweh. And the elders said, as we walked in the garden alone, the woman came in with two maids and shut the doors, and sent the maids away. And a young man who there was hid came unto her, and lay with her. Then we that stood in the corner of the garden, seeing this wickedness, ran unto them. And when we saw them together, the man we could not hold, for he was stronger than we, and opened the door and leapt out. But having taken this woman, we asked who this young man was, but she would not tell us. These things do we testify. Then the assembly believed them, as those that were the elders and judges of the people, and so they condemned her to death. Then Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, "O everlasting Elohim, that know the secrets and know all things before they be, you know that they have borne false witness against me, and behold, I must die. Whereas I never did such things as these men have maliciously invented against me." And Yahweh heard her voice. Therefore, when she was led to be put to death, Yahweh raised up the spirit who dwelt the Ruach HaKodesh of a young man whose name was Daniel, who cried with a loud voice, "I am clear from the blood of this woman." Then all the people turned toward him and said, "What mean these words that you have spoken?" So standing in the midst of them said, "Are you such fools, you sons of Yasharel, that without examination or knowledge of the truth of the Torah you have condemned a daughter of Yasharel? Return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her." Wherefore all the people turned again in haste, and the elders said unto him, "Come, sit down among us, and show it to us, seeing that Elohim has given you the honor of an elder." Then Daniel said unto them, "Put these two aside, one from another, and I will examine them." So when they were put asunder one from another, he called one of them and said unto him, "O you that are waxen old in wickedness, now your sins, for you have pronounced false judgment, and have condemned the innocent, and have let the guilty go free. Albeit Yahweh says, the innocent and righteous shall you not slay. Now then, if you have seen her, tell me, under what tree saw you accompanying them together?" He answered, "Under a mastic tree." And Daniel said, "Very well, you have lied against your own head. Even now the angel of Elohim has received the sentence of Elohim to cut you in two." So he put him aside, and commanded to bring the other, and said unto him, "O seed of Canaan, and not of Yehudah, beauty has deceived you, and lust has perverted your heart. Thus have you dealt with the daughters of Yasharel, for they fear companied with you. But the daughter of Yehudah would not abide your wickedness, and consent unto you. Now therefore tell me, under what tree did you take them companying together?" Who answered, "Under a holm tree." Then Daniel said unto him, "Well, you have lied against your own head, for the angel of Elohim waits with the sword to cut you in two, that he may destroy you." With all that the assembly cried out with a loud voice and praised Elohim, who saved them that trust in him. And they rose